Oh, welcome in. Looks like my camera doesn't want to work today. Let me see if I can get it working. Maybe. Interesting. See if that helps at all. There we go. All right, finally. Wow. About time. Okay. Let me make sure that our YouTube music is muted. Is what we're going to be watching. Is some Gen X stuff. Found some Gen X videos. I'm Gen X. And I found it kind of interesting. Some perspectives about our generation and just the generation I am in, part of how we view the world, how we view things, and honestly, the unique world environment that we grew up in and spanning multiple transitional periods in our history is what our time growing up and becoming adults kind of spanned over. It was started out in the analog era where there was no cell phones, no internet, no nothing. And then as we were entering our teenage years and then young adulthood, the internet started to come into its own. Cell phones started to come into more mainstream and a lot of people had them. And then fully when we became adults, late 20s, early 30s, a lot of us, fully entered that space of where everything is purely digital. The internet was in was going out in full force. Um, and it became a truly digital world. And we're sandwiched right in between those two generations of the millennials and the boomers, where the boomers really were kind of past the point of fully, but a little bit past the prime point of trying to fully integrate into the digital world in a sense, because they were aging, starting to get on the top end of aging for the workforce. And then the millennials who had grown up in a purely digital online world where you're always online and everything's always there. So, um, I saw parts of this video and I realized it actually really not only mirrored me and like my experience growing up, but also a lot of my professional experience too, where I had the experience of having to do and kind of help both sides, because I had situations where I had a boss that was part of the boomer generation and I had coworkers that were millennials, and they didn't really get along, because they had such completely divergent and different worldviews on how the world is, how it works, and all of it. And a lot of the time I would be kind of peacekeeping between them and like explaining things in a way that the boomers could understand, and then trying to explain that generation to the millennials, so that they could kind of understand where they came from, because we as Gen X, we really understand both of those worlds. We grew up as young adults and kids in the world that the boomers came from, and we spent a majority of our adulthood and now even later adulthood, pre, you know going on towards not really retirement age, but getting up there in age in this purely online digital world too. So I just found it a very fascinating topic. Um, and just kind of what our mindset is and kind of who we are as a generation, kind of what makes us the way we are, and, how that kind of forms who we've become and the roles we kind of fulfill now. So this video is why Gen X doesn't want to be part of the generational war. And it's from Why Are They Like That? That is the channel. So let's go ahead and get into the video now. I don't see. Nope, I don't see the audio working. So give me a second.
There is a generational war happening right now, and it is extremely loud. In fact, it's the reason why I created this.
Let me know if the sound is not good. If there's anyone out there, let me know how the sound is and everything like that.
Channel. Why are they like that? Boomers versus millennials, Gen Z versus everyone, TikTok versus Facebook, skinny jeans versus wide leg, avocado toast versus the housing market. The arguments are everywhere, they generate enormous amounts of engagement, and approximately every generation is involved in them at high volume. Except one. There's a generation sitting to the side of all of this, watching it unfold, occasionally rolling their eyes, mostly not getting involved. Not because they have nothing to say, not because they don't have opinions, but because they have spent their entire lives being trained by circumstance to regard this kind of noise as largely not worth their time.
Yep.
That generation is Gen X, born between 1965 and 1980, currently aged somewhere between 45 and 61, and by any measurable standard, the most consistently overlooked, least discussed, least complained about, least complained to generation in living.
I think one of the reasons we're the least complained about is because we do the least amount of complaining, period. Because that's just not who we are. That's not what we did. If we were given problems or shitty, a shitty circumstance, we just dealt with it, made the best of it, and moved on. We didn't sit there and complain about it until someone decided to come and fix the problem for us. We just dealt with it, did the best with it, and moved on. So I think this middle one is largely attributed to the fact that we just don't do a lot of complaining in general, honestly, because it's not who we are, not what we do.
memory. A poll went around social media a few years ago asking people to vote on the most ignored generation. The options were Gen Z, Millennials, Baby Boomers, and the Silent Generation.
The silent generation, for those who don't know, is kind of what my parents are. My parents are actually in the silent generation. I believe they are. I'd have to look at the charts. I've always considered them in the silent generation. The ones that were born right around actually, I'm gonna look right now just to see. No, I'm curious. I'm almost positive I looked this up in the past. Yep, my parents are firmly in the silent generation. They grew up between the Great Depression and the end of World War II. So, yep.
X wasn't even on the poll. That's about right. My name is Eddie Freeman. Every week on this channel, we look at why generations see the world differently, and sometimes why one
Wait, I want to go back and look at this real quick.
week on this channel, we look at why
My son is Gen Z. My wife and all of my siblings are Gen X. Actually, one of my brothers, let me think here for a second. I have to actually think. I actually think my oldest sibling might be right on the edge of boomer. My oldest sibling.
why generations see the world differently, and sometimes why one generation barely shows up to the conversation at all. Why are they like that? Subscribe and you'll get a new one every week. To understand Gen X's relationship with the generational debate, you have to understand what kind of childhood produced them. Gen X grew up as latchkey kids. That term has softened over time into something that sounds almost nostalgic, but the reality behind it was pretty blunt. Divorce rates peaked in the early 1980s, just as the oldest Gen Xers were hitting their teenage years. Both parents working became the new normal. Childcare infrastructure had...
And honestly, all of my friends growing up, both parents worked. One of my best friends had a mom that worked at the post office. The other one was in the army. Another one was a full-time mechanic, and the mom was a nurse. And the other one was a sound engineer, and the other one worked in Amway, a pyramid scheme company. So like all of my friends, even some of my what I call friend adjacent friends, had both parents that worked. So my dad worked full time. My mom worked a little bit off and on. She was there a lot of the time, but not for all of it. Obviously, she worked a little bit off and on, but yeah, almost basically all of my friends growing up, both parents worked. And it was in that time where there were no cell phones. None of that existed. If you wanted to get a hold of someone, you had to be in a building with a physical phone. That was it. So, if you weren't there and someone wanted to check up on you, you didn't answer the phone. That's it. You're outside making trouble with your friends. Nobody knew where you were. That's just the way it was back then. I think movies like E.T. and even to an extent, Stranger Things do a pretty good job of showing what it was like back then. Just where our childhood was a time when you truly could go without being contacted. Like you could truly get away. Like now you really can't. Everyone is expected to always have their phone on them. Everyone almost always has their phone on them. You can almost always reach them. But the minute you walked out that front door of your house, if you didn't walk into another building with a physical phone, you were unreachable. That's all there was to it. And it was glorious. Blissful, even.
Hadn't caught up yet, so an enormous number of Gen X children came home from school to an empty house, let themselves in with the key around their neck, and figured out the afternoon on their own. They made themselves snacks. They did,
or you, as we used to call back in the day, we sloughed school, skipped school, went to our friends' houses to hang out because both parents were working. They weren't even home. I did that a whole lot too.
Or didn't do their homework. They sorted out whatever needed
Didn't,
sorting.
a lot of the time.
Nobody was checking on them.
Yep.
Nobody was hovering. The parenting philosophy of the era, to the extent there was one, was roughly, you'll figure it out. And they did. They had to.
Yep.
This wasn't a trauma narrative. For most Gen Xers, it was just Tuesday.
Oh, the rotary phones, the rotary phone. We had those too growing up. But no, truly, we just did our thing, you know? There was no muss, no fuss. It was just whatever. And like I said, they just weren't there to really follow up with you or to hover or to be there and monitor every single thing you were doing. But then again, you know, we also didn't have the myriad of things that people nowadays have to try to do and to get, you know, for lack of a better word, get in trouble with either. We had other things to get in trouble with, but not in the same way that the constantly online, attention-seeking digital age is now.
You came home, you watched MTV, you made a mixtape, you handled your life. The independence was so total and so early that it stopped feeling like independence and started feeling like just how things work. That early self-sufficiency calcified into something permanent. By the time Gen X reached adulthood, they were arguably the least needy generation in American history. Not because of some superior character trait, but because they had been practicing being on their own since they were 10.
Yeah, you had dance class. Once I got into junior high and high school, depending on the time of year, I'd have football practice. But other than that, no, like I didn't do a lot of other on purpose because I didn't want to. But you know, all of my siblings did. They also played sports. My oldest sibling was in the band. You know, they toured Europe with their band. I mean, yeah, they had a lot of other things they did, but really, like for us, kind of like how people are now, or I should say kids, young adults now, how it seems like a lot of their friend groups are kind of online a lot more. Ours were really just our friend groups in real life were like our bloodline, right? Like they were our everything, kind of like the online friend groups that a lot of people have now, except ours were there in person with us. They're the things that held us together, made a lot of this weirdness kind of manageable, doable. You know, when you went home and you made yourself an after school snack and you were bored because there's nobody at home, nothing to do, you would just either call your friend or, in a lot of times, I'd just walk straight over to my friend's house. It didn't really matter because that was just what we expected to do. We'd all meet up and we'd all just do whatever. And they made it so much more fun. And like I said, easier to endure a lot of the stuff. Of just everything that was happening. It was, you know, it's weird because a lot of us, because of that too, if we didn't hang out with our friends, a lot of us kind of just learned to be by ourselves too. Like I'm fine being by myself. I'd much rather have my wife with me now, but at that time, it didn't bother me. Yeah, and my mom was there a lot of the time too. I mean, there were times when she wasn't because she had to do some stuff too. So, but I'm not going to pretend like she was never there. She was there a lot. So, as much as she could, that was kind of her whole goal, was to try to do as much while we were at school, so that she could try to be there between when we got home from school, then when my dad came home at night, so that she could kind of be there in that afternoon area. A lot of our chores were usually weekly chores, like mowing the lawn, washing the car, shoveling the walk, when it snowed, things like that. And then occasionally we'd have well, certain ones of us would have certain daily chores like loading and emptying the dishwasher, um, obviously setting the table every night so we could eat, things like that. So, no, I mean, like, it seems like a lot of people, if they didn't physically have their cell phone right now, they couldn't handle being alone. And like, I'm almost like that now, which is sad because I've grown so used to it. But back then, like, we just didn't care. Like, it was fine, you know, probably because we didn't have that exposure to things like, you know, like having a, a supercomputer in our hand, which is what we would have thought it was back then.
Then they got to the culture and found it wasn't really for them either. The boomers had
way too much freedom in my case came in high school. Like literally, I know you already know this, dear, but like literally when, like I said, all my friends, both their parents worked, right? So, we had a lot of freedom. And like, if you could actually make it home before the school had the automated phone call that called your home number to let your family know that you missed school. If you could get home before that call came in and answer it before anyone else in the house and hang up, your parents didn't even know you missed school. I can't even remember. I literally did that hundreds of times over my whole school career, where I'd be kind of like milling around, just hanging out in the kitchen, in the living room, waiting for that phone call. I'd run in, hurry, and pick it up, see exactly who it is, listen to it, act like I was talking into it to one of my friends, and then hurry and hang up when I was done. That is until you rack up so many absences that principal, vice principal, and two of your teachers show up at your house to talk to your parents because you have a list of absences like 5 pages long. So, yeah, until that happens.
Owned the cultural conversation since the 1960s. Woodstock, the counterculture, Vietnam, civil rights. Enormous, historic, loudly narrated events that boomers attached their entire identity to. The media was fascinated with boomers. The advertising industry was fascinated with boomers. The political class was boomers. Gen X arrived to find the conversation already full. There were 77 million boomers taking up most of the oxygen. So Gen X did what it was trained to do, shrugged, found its own lane, and got on with things. The cultural products Gen X produced reflected exactly this. Slacker, Clerks, Reality Bites, The Breakfast Club, the entire alternative rock movement of the early 90s. All of it was drenched in a particular kind of dry, ironic, low expectation worldview. These were not idealists making art about changing the world. These were people who had watched the idealists of the previous generation make a lot of noise and were deeply skeptical that any of it actually added up to anything. The word whatever as a cultural response to provocation, that was Gen X's contribution to the English language.
Whatever.
And it was not accidental. It was a posture developed over years of being told things mattered enormously and quietly deciding they probably didn't.
They didn't. Exactly. Yeah.
Then came the millennials. Gen X had barely gotten settled into adulthood when 83 million millennials started entering the workforce, bringing with them a cultural volume that made even the boomers look quiet. Suddenly, everything was about millennials, their expectations, their avocado toast, their student debt, their relationship with participation trophies, their burnout, their therapy.
Don't even get me started about the whole participation trophy thing. All right.
Their feelings about their feelings. Gen Xers, who had been waiting their turn, who had quietly watched boomers cling to power through their 50s and 60s while expecting to eventually step into leadership, found themselves getting leapfrogged. The boomers were still there, the millennials were right behind them. And the media, the advertising world, and the cultural conversation had essentially decided to skip straight from one to the other. A Gen X writer summarized this with characteristic precision. We've created all these great websites that now millennials waste their lives on. Built the platform, didn't get the credit. That's a very Gen X experience. By the time Gen Z arrived and the OK Boomer wars began, Gen X had been through 2 complete cycles of this. They had watched themselves get ignored while one generation ahead and one generation behind fought for the microphone. Their response was, appropriately, not to fight for the microphone. The generational war that's currently consuming boomers and millennials and Gen Z is, at its core, a war about who gets to be understood. Boomers want credit for what they built. Millennials want recognition for what they've had to deal with. Gen Z wants someone to acknowledge that the world they're entering is harder than the one previous generations got. All 3 of those are genuine desires for validation. All 3 require a certain degree of public performance: the complaint, the clapback, the viral post, the generational hot take. Gen X's entire psychological profile works against that. They don't perform. They are constitutionally allergic to public earnestness. The same culture that produced grunge and irony and whatever is not going to pivot to making TikToks about how they feel overlooked. Complaining loudly about being ignored is the most un-Gen X thing imaginable. If they did it, they'd be embarrassed by themselves. A leadership expert at a conference made a joke that went viral in Gen X circles. She said she had no advice for Gen X for 3 reasons. First, they don't need it. They're the most self-sufficient generation in history. Second, even if she had something to tell them, they wouldn't care. Third, even if they did care, they would never admit it. The fact that that joke went viral among Gen X people rather than annoying them tells you everything. They found it funny. They shared it. And then they went back to not caring.
Totally true.
There's one more piece of this that doesn't get discussed much. Gen X is currently running things. Quietly, without much fanfare, without the generational brand that boomers wore like a badge and that millennials and Gen Z have built their entire internet identities around, Gen X is actually in charge of a lot. More than half of Fortune 500 CEOs are Gen X. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Satya Nadella, Larry Page, Sergey Brin. The people who built the infrastructure of the digital age and currently run most of it. All Gen X. They also run most of the middle of the economy. They're the managers, the directors, the people who actually execute whatever the boomer bosses decide and translate it for the millennial and Gen Z employees.
That is so true. That's what I've spent most of my actual career doing, is explaining things in a way that both sides understand, like taking instructions from a boomer and explaining it to a millennial in the workplace. And of course, being tech support for the silent generation.
One workplace expert described Gen X as the bridge generation. They entered a workplace dominated by boomers, adapted to it, then had to turn around and adapt again when millennials flooded in. They've been translating between generations their entire working lives.
That's why I firmly believe that, and this is not due to anything special about us, but more as a product of the environment and time when we grew up, that we are probably the most adaptable generation that there is. The reason I say that is we came from a totally analog world, just like the boomers. We were in our early prime 20s, 30, or early 30s, when the digital age started, internet started up, cell phones became very prevalent. Now we're in full-blown adulthood, later in life, later in our life, in the fully digital age, and we understand all the worlds equally. We've lived through all of them. We were able to adapt from the analog to the transition, from the transition to digital, all the way into the fully digital. with as you saw, with helping to create the transition to the digital as well.
They are doing this without making it a whole thing. No manifesto, no hot takes, no TikTok series about what it's like to be Gen X in a multi-generational workplace. Just the work. The irony at the heart of this episode is that Gen X is actually the generation that most people on this channel should probably pay most attention to. They are the bridge. They have working relationships with every generation in the current workforce. They can talk to boomers because they grew up respecting self-sufficiency and not complaining. They can talk to millennials because they understand economic precarity and they helped build the internet culture that shaped millennial life. They can talk to Gen Z because they genuinely don't care about status and hierarchy in the way that makes younger workers nervous. They're the only generation nobody is fighting with. And the reason nobody is fighting with them is the same reason nobody is fighting about them. They decided a long time ago that the fights weren't worth having.
They're not.
Whether that's wisdom or just very well-practiced indifference is probably the most Gen X question anyone could ask. And if you asked a Gen X person, they'd probably shrug and say, does it matter?
Yeah.
Drop it in the comments. If you're Gen X, is the indifference real or is it a posture? And
No,
from every other generation,
it's real.
do you actually
It
think
really is
about Gen
real.
X or are they genuinely invisible to you? I want to know how accurate this one is.
I think that we're invisible to a lot because, like what he said towards the very end, we don't jockey for the spotlight. We don't need you to put us on a pedestal. We just come in, we do our stuff, we get shit done, and that's it. We have a very simple, straightforward, generally work ethic and work life, philosophy. We don't need the spotlight like boomers. We don't need all the credit like boomers do. And like he said, we can talk to Gen Z because, quite frankly, we don't really care. We don't need you. We don't hold ourselves up to this on this pedestal, and so we don't expect you to either. We just are, and we just do. But yeah, I just wanted to give watch this, give some of my thoughts as we watched it, and yeah, thanks a lot for watching this YouTube. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and subscribe, and look forward to having more content like this. All right. There's one more I was going to watch. It's from the same channel, Why Are They Like That? And it's called Why Gen X is the Last Generation That Knows How to Be Truly Alone. I kind of touched on this earlier, but let's go ahead and watch it now.
It's 1979. School ends at 3. You walk home. You let yourself in with the key around your neck. The house is quiet. Your parents won't be back until 6. That's 3 hours. 3 hours with no phone, no computer, no one texting you, no one to check in with, no notifications telling you something happened somewhere. Just you, and the house, and whatever you decide to do with the afternoon. For Gen X kids, this happened hundreds of times, thousands of times for some of them. It was so routine, it stopped being notable. You ate whatever was in the cupboard, you maybe watched TV, you maybe went outside, you figured it out.
Yep.
Nobody asked how you were doing. Nobody was managing the experience. Nobody was home. That turns out to matter more than anyone realized at the time. My name is Eddie Freeman. Every week this channel looks at how generations developed differently, and what those differences actually cost or give us. Why are they like that? Subscribe and you'll get a new one every week. What happened to Gen X children in those empty houses wasn't just neglect with a positive spin. Something genuinely developmental was occurring, and it took decades of psychology research to name what it was. Boredom activates a specific part of the brain called the default mode network, the same system responsible for daydreaming, imagination, self-reflection, and creative thinking. When a child is bored, with no external stimulus available to rescue them from the discomfort, the brain starts generating its own activity. It wanders. It imagines. It makes connections between unrelated things. It starts, essentially, doing the work of becoming a self. Research on child development is consistent on this point. Unstructured time, time with no scheduled activity, no screen, no adult direction, builds executive function, emotional regulation, creative problem solving, and crucially, the ability to tolerate discomfort without immediately seeking an exit from it. Not because doing nothing is magical,
Yes,
but because the
please.
process of figuring out what to do with nothing is where those skills get built. Gen X got thousands of hours of that process during the exact developmental window when the brain is most primed to be shaped by it. Nobody designed it as an intervention. It was just what the 1970s and 80s looked like for millions of children whose parents were working and whose society hadn't yet invented the infrastructure to keep kids continuously entertained and supervised.
Yeah, truly, there wasn't.
The result was a generation that learned, in the most unglamorous way possible, how to be alone without it being a crisis.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
The psychologist D.W. Winnicott wrote about this decades before anyone was applying it to generational analysis. He argued that the capacity to be alone, really alone, with yourself, not performing for anyone or filling silence with noise, is one of the most important psychological capacities a person can develop. And paradoxically, it develops best in early life, in the presence of a reliable adult who isn't hovering. The child learns that they can be left alone and survive it, that their own company is enough, that silence is not a problem to be solved.
Yeah.
Gen X learned this by accident. Empty house, key around the neck, 3 hours until someone came home. Whatever the intention behind it, the outcome was a generation that built a relationship with solitude that the generations before and after simply didn't have the same reason to build. Boomers had different childhoods, more supervised, more communal, more shaped by a culture of togetherness that post-war prosperity and stay-at-home parenting enabled. They developed differently. Millennials were the first helicopter-parented generation. Their childhoods were scheduled, organized sports, enrichment activities, playdates booked in advance. When they were bored, something was provided. When they were alone, the phone arrived. Gen Z never experienced unstructured time at scale. By the time they were old enough to be left alone, they were never actually alone.
Never.
The phone was there. The algorithm was there. There was always something available to fill the gap before the gap could become anything.
True.
73% of Gen Z report feeling alone sometimes or always, the highest of any generation. That number is striking because it seems to contradict everything.
I think some of that is, and I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong. But I think some of that is, for a lot of them, how they don't have that, or they don't get, encourage, embrace that human interaction. And what I mean by human is, I mean one-on-one in real life, not human as far as talking with someone else online, but one-on-one. You feel a lot more of a connection to someone when you are with them physically, and you may be sitting in a room together, talking, chatting, hanging out, doing things. There's a lot more of a connection there than there is, just chatting online. And that may be it. And it may also just be that they're so stimulated all the time that there's a lot more of that time that's not filled with connecting with something that they can resonate with, or that is another person as well.
Gen Z is the most digitally connected generation in history. They are never more than a few seconds from contact with other people. They have more tools for communication.
Exhausting to think about. I honestly don't know. I've said this before. I know I've said it to my wife. I don't know how well I would do growing up in a world that Gen Z has grown up in, where there is no respite from the constant barrage and assault of stimulation that they have grown up with constantly. Now, maybe I would have done fine because that's the way I would have grown up. That would have been my environment. But I think about it now, and maybe it's because of how I grew up without having that in the beginning part of my life. And to think about that part of my life being like it is for, Gen Z, how completely foreign and alien and completely different it is, that I don't know how well I could handle it. And that's probably just because of the mindset that I've built over the years of how and what time period I was raised in.
Communication than any previous generation could have imagined, and they are the loneliest. The explanation for this is something that Gen X understands in their bones, even if they've never articulated it. There's a difference between being alone and feeling lonely. And there's a difference between
Yep.
solitude and loneliness that the constant connection
Being okay to be by yourself. And I think this comes back to what I just said, where having to have that constant stimulation all the time, and if you don't have it, you start to feel like something is lacking. And that may be the source or the root of this feeling lonely that he's referring to here for Gen Z. Like, we just grew up like with that inherently at an early age, where I was fine, after school, even if my mom was home, I was fine sitting in my room, reading a book, listening to the radio, making a mixtape from radio songs myself, or just listening to a CD or a tape or, anything like that. I was fine doing that all by myself. I didn't need another person. I didn't need anyone else to talk to, because those things were enough for me. And maybe it's just because of the way they've been brought up, and where stimulation is so constant and prevalent and needed, that when they don't have that, or they don't feel that that is filling that void, that it starts to feel lonely for them.
model of modern life has thoroughly confused. Solitude is chosen, it's comfortable, it's
Yep.
the experience of being with yourself without distress. Loneliness is the feeling that your own company isn't enough, that you need external input to feel okay, and the external input isn't landing in the right way, or isn't available, or is there but still leaves you feeling hollow. Gen Z grew up never learning to be alone because they were never asked to be.
Hey, how you doing? We're watching videos about Gen X and the differences. Since I'm a Gen Xer, my wife's a Gen Xer. We're watching some videos about that and the differences between the different generations, like Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, boomers, etc. Why? What's wrong? Are you sick again? Don't tell me you're sick again. Yep. Yep. Family is a lot like yeah. Yep. They can be hard. They can be hard. There's no doubt about it.
The phone was always there before the discomfort of solitude could become the resource of solitude. They went from stimulation directly to loneliness, without the middle step, the capacity to be with themselves ever getting built. When the stimulation stops, there's nothing to fill it with. That's the loneliness epidemic in a sentence.
Yeah, that it's hard. That's hard. It's hard to make someone care or want to care if they don't. You kind of have to find the reason why they don't and try to fix that. Yeah, that can be hard when they don't see, acknowledge, or are willing to help towards a resolution. That can be very difficult when someone else's behavior so dramatically affects the rest of the family. So what what was what was the reason that he gave, or did he give none and just didn't really care? That's the next best outcome to him admitting it and saying he wants to actually work on it, because the other option is him knowing the reason and saying he doesn't care. So at least you're kind of in the middle, and you can help encourage him to look and try to feel for what that reason is for him and hope that he can find it. And then you guys can help him to work on it or work on it with him uh, together. Because at least, like the way I see that, that's like right in the middle. It's not ideal and it's not the worst. Hmm, that's really awkward. Hmm. This hasn't got any better over that time. He's been like this way for that long. What does he care about? Okay.
Gen X doesn't talk about this much, partly because talking about yourself is not really a Gen X move.
No.
And partly because the capacity they built is so native to them that they can't quite see it. It's like asking a fish to explain water. But it shows up in their behavior in ways that other generations notice and find slightly baffling. Gen X can sit in a waiting room without looking at their phone. Not always, not every one of them, but at a rate that is genuinely different from younger generations. They can drive without a podcast filling every minute. They can eat.
We can sit there in a waiting room and just stare at the wall or stare out the window and not care. It like not having the distraction isn't going to kill us like it feels like it is for others. Like, do most of us at this stage, if we've had and been using a phone for a long time, look at it? Yeah. But if for whatever reason we didn't have it, we wouldn't be devastated and unable to bear it.
Lunch alone without performing it for anyone.
Yep, all the time.
They can have a weekend with nothing scheduled and not feel a creeping dread about what it means.
All the time.
None of this is virtue. It's not discipline. Nope. It's not moral superiority over generations who are more phone dependent. It's just a muscle that got built through repetition during a formative period in an environment that had no choice but to build it. The cruel irony of all this is that Gen X, having been raised to be so comfortable alone, went on in many cases to become the helicopter parents who ensured their own children never had to develop that capacity. The same generation that came home to empty houses and figured out 3 hours of unstructured time by themselves watched their own Gen Z kids grow up scheduled and supervised and continuously entertained. The people who most understood the value of solitude were the ones who worked hardest to make sure their children never had to sit with it. You can trace this directly.
And I don't understand why we did that. I still don't, like, from a psychological standpoint, I do not understand why we did that. We have this overcorrective nature of not wanting to see our kids go through what we went through, to a point of, like I said, overcorrection. And I don't know why, but it's happened to so many of our Gen Z kids.
to the fact that Gen X knew what genuine neglect looked like. They remembered being genuinely unsupervised, genuinely in situations that weren't always fine.
And you know what, though? Now that he starts to lay this out, he may say this in just a second, because we also realize that when we were like that, and I know anyone who's not a Gen Xer and maybe a millennial or a Gen Zer who hears this will have heard other people say this, but truly, like, the world that we grew up in is so much different than the one that our kids came into, that I think a lot of it came back to we were scared to give them the amount of freedom we had in the scary world that we brought our kids into. And some may not say it's scary, but compared to the world we grew up in, it was and is.
Genuinely alone in ways that were sometimes hard. And when they became parents, they overcorrected toward the thing they'd been denied: attention, presence, supervision. They meant well, they loved their kids, and in doing so, they may have accidentally withheld the thing that the empty house had given them. None of this argues that Gen X had a better childhood. Some latchkey kids were genuinely neglected.
It's just
some were scared. Some were in unsafe situations. The research is clear that context mattered enormously, and that younger children and those in unstable homes were more vulnerable to negative outcomes. But for the broad middle, the millions of kids who had basically functional homes and parents who were simply at work, the empty house produced something real. A tolerance for solitude, a comfort with their own company, a relationship with silence that doesn't require it to be filled. That capacity is increasingly rare. It is not something you can download. It is not something that develops in a person who has never been made to sit with the discomfort of nothing happening and figure out what comes next from inside themselves. Gen X got it by accident. The generations that followed didn't get it at all.
No.
And the loneliness statistics suggest that its absence has a cost that nobody fully priced in when they handed every 10-year-old a smartphone and called it connection. Let me know in the comments if you're Gen X and called it.
That's an interesting chart where, for all this time, as we were coming into young adulthood, early 20s, 25, 26, whatever. And it just went up a little teeny bit. And then as smartphones became more and more prevalent, it jumped up to 10% when it took, 15 years to go up 5%. In a matter of 7, it went up 10. Then it went up a whole nother 9 in 4 more years. Then when the lockdown originally happened, it was all the way up almost 30% from that point right there. And that's just continued to climb. Very interesting.
Let me know in the comments. If you're Gen X, do you actually feel comfortable alone in a way that feels different from younger people you know? And if you're a millennial or Gen Z, is the idea of being genuinely alone, no phone, no podcast, no music, something that sounds peaceful or something that sounds genuinely uncomfortable? I want to know where people actually land on this. There is a generational...
I'd be interested to know too, because I think that, I know for me, like I've already said, I'm fine being alone. Being married for so long, I would rather hang out with my wife, because when she leaves town, and she'll tell you this, like, I get lonely. I miss having her company, and that's not because I can't be by myself. It's because I'm used to her being there and I enjoy her company. So, but I can be by myself and not feel lacking, if that makes sense. But I feel like for some of the other generations, especially Gen Zers, I think it's a lot, it could be a lot harder, because they've always had that constant, for lack of a better word, being plugged in digitally, and that constant stimulation that comes from that, and not having it feels like it is a void to them. And the reason I think it's not for us in Gen X is because we never had that growing up. we started to develop that in our early adult years, and now that we have it, because we remember what it's like not to have it, we're okay without it. But having no point of reference between the two, I can see how it could be terrifying because it's all you've ever known. But for most of us, we can put our phone down and not feel completely lost, alone, and afraid because we grew up with that ourselves. We understand what it is to do that and to be that, and so it's not something where it's going to like mentally break us or inhibit our ability to function, where it can for other people who haven't had that experience of not having that constantly going on for them. So, but yes, that was another great video. I do like these. These are really good videos. I enjoy watching them. Um, so yeah, I that was good. Loved it. You guys enjoyed it. Let me know. And yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go be right back really quick. I'm gotta run to the restroom. And then I think we're going to bring back in our old friend that I mentioned in the title, The Return of an Old Friend of Ours. And you guys will see who and what that is when we get back from break. Just give me a few minutes. Thanks. All right. So what we have, our good friend coming back. My shirt should be a clue to what is coming. If you haven't gotten it by now, my red shirt always means Ricky. Ricky is back. He's back. So let me get it up here. It's already on. Let me get it for us. All right. We have Ricky, the rise of Ricky, Ricky's Revenge. I'm gonna have to think about it. I can't remember either. I'll have to think about it, what it was. So I actually have, because I know I've got my main seller here, my horse impaler, what I'm selling the most. I've still got a bunch of, I believe, of my buds that I am selling as well. Right here that I give to my dealers, my gorilla balls. I have a new one I want to work out today. Wedding punch. It is. You're the one that helped me come up with that name. You remember. I do have a new one that I actually want to do. And let's see if I have everything I need. I need... Let's see if I actually have... Let's see, I have that. I don't have... I have that. Let me actually get... So some of the things they've added, right? Oh, ramen is so good, though. Some of the coolest stuff they've added since I last played was dynamic weather, which you can hear right now in the background with the rain. That's okay. They've added fungal fill, which is a shroom dealer. And honestly, the police are a little more troublesome. I don't know what kind of changes he's made. They're a little more troublesome. And one of the coolest things is with this rain, you can actually see a lot of the spotlights that were in the sky a lot easier sometimes. And when they move around, it's actually really kind of cool, a cool effect. And a lot of the NPCs actually, they will pop out an umbrella while they're walking around. Not active, not yet. One of the things they're looking at doing, and I'm almost dreading them doing it, is they're looking at doing increased police, what do they call it? Police, I guess the best word for it would be intuition, and also bringing in state police, doing raids on your properties as well. Yeah, those are some of the main things. Yeah, increased patrols that are a lot more, they'll stop you and inspect you for like nothing now. Like you don't have to do anything to them. That's one thing they're looking at. They're also looking at doing what they call big rollers, where if like an occasional big roller will come to town and buy a really large amount of your product at one time. So like a businessman, maybe a professional athlete, maybe even someone in the government, like a congressman, you know, somebody like that, someone, a high roller basically, will come in, not buy 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll buy like 20, 40 of your product all at once, which is a huge amount of cash. That's one of the other things they're looking at doing. They're also looking at, because all these were on a an actual poll that they had up. They also wanted to do signable drivers, so you could actually have, which would make my life a lot easier in my big offline playthrough. So where you can have a designated driver deliver product between properties. But like you could technically have like the barn grow all of your stuff, right? And then have a driver delivered all to like the warehouse where they do all of the finishing through all the mixers and stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. Anything to make it more streamlined to where you don't have to do so much, but there still has to be that aspect where you should do some things or something to where you just can't. Then it would be boring if you just all of a sudden, you know, logged in, you just kind of sat here in your house and just let everyone do everything. That would be kind of boring. There has to be something for you to do, so there has to be that kind of balance there. But let's buy what is going to be my newest product. I need 40 of that. I need some gas, only 20. Mega bean, 20. Iodine and motor oil. And this is going to be one that I want to make because I think it's going to be funny. And it will be this, that. Okay, good. This one I want to sell myself. I don't ever want to have my dealers sell it. This is one I want to hand out because I want to see people use it. It's one of those where I've properly planned out the effects of it, and I can't wait to see somebody use them. Honestly, I can't wait. So I am going to make some right now. We can get everything named too. And this one is going to be that. And this is going to be that. I honestly don't know why I have these set up here. I'm trying to remember why I was still making a lot of this stuff. And what my other employees were. There is going to be. Yes, this is a new one. Every step of this process for these that I'm making now is going to have a new one. I already know what the end name is going to be. The final product, I already know what that name is going to be. But what we'll do is with each one of these, they're going to have certain effects. And I may name them just according to the effects, like not actually name it that effect, but something along the lines of in the same theme as my final name, but that has to do with this actual side effect. So this one's called energizing. So I'll name this one Zoomies. Let's take it. And the next step is the gasoline, which will give it 2 other ones. And then this one is going to be the beans after I go to the next one. Yeah. Afro Gorilla Cheese. This next one is, I'm trying to, let me see oh, it doesn't show me. I'm trying to remember. They're going to change, like, through each product too, because as you stack more of these, it may change some of the other side effects, but it doesn't change what the previous one was. So This one may be totally different. Trying to think what the two ones mean that this one is. Because I think I can remember the colors. They are. That's going to be gas. Generally, gas makes you either puke or a laxative where you fart, if I remember right. Euphoric and toxic, so that means you're going to barf. Sky bile. Here we go. Like high because you're throwing up. Okay, now we got to do the Coke again. Yeah, and then the Mega Bean, and then this one's gonna be iodine after this, so I can put iodine here. My final name is an actual like play on words for a movie that is from when I was young. My wife will understand the title. She'll get the movie reference name at least. He's it. That will be the iodine one. I can't believe how much product I have. This is kind of crazy. I don't want to sell all this myself, honestly. I'd much rather put it in jars and have my... Well, this is going to be excited, euphoric, and farting. I'll just call this one that. Now I want to put this over here with the Mega Bean. There we go. That's the last one. I'm going to put some of these in jars, actually. It's going to be a whole stack. Is that all I got? No, I've got middle too. No. I'm gonna go get some bottles. She got a decent amount of cash. See that skylight? That spotlight? That is so cool. How it shines on the clouds. It's really kind of cool. I need more jars, man. Especially if I'm going to move a lot of these to jars. Let me do... I'm moving my money over quite well for under my credit card. I'm kind of surprised. Oh, they if I leave some out and I try to sell it, they will. I'll get texts about giving them. Afro Gorilla Cheese It. I absolutely will. Okay, so now... it's here, right? So... Bladed Shart. Euphoric Fart. What that one is. Ooh, it's getting into the good ones now. Let's get some of these out. Unpack. Actually, let me do this. I can put a whole bunch in. So all those are horse and failure. Might be done kind of soon. Yes, it will be. This one I'm not sure. Let's see what this one has for side effects. Seizure-inducing, laxative, paranoia, cyclopean, generizing. Generizing. Nightmare shakes. Seizure inducing. It's so mean. There we go. I already know what the name of that one's gonna be. All right. Let's do that. Get that in there. Get that. I think horse impaler is what I wanted to sell, but that is so much for me to sell. That did not want to go in very well, did it? Maybe they just need to go back in. Okay. Maybe I put too many out. Ooh. Oh, wait. This one? Okay, here we go. (2001) A Short Odyssey. There we go. I need to put these in baggies and have me start selling them. So I can watch other people use them. I need to actually remember how many properties I own, if this is the last one I've got, or if I've actually bought the barn. It's been so long since I played. Oh, this one? The 2001 A Short Odyssey. Because they go, it's got anti-gravity, seizure-inducing, and they're going to be farting all the time. They're going to fart themselves up on top of buildings. Yeah, it's called 2001 A Space Odyssey. This one's a Short Odyssey. Because they're going to fart themselves into the atmosphere. Or, yeah, shart themselves, truly. Let me undo this one, and then I can do the last of it. It's going to be awesome. And I can start selling it. I don't even know how much it's worth. Oops, nope. Yep, that one is one too many. I love how it actually doesn't let you put too many in. It actually just makes it fall out. There we go. That's a full stack. Now I can actually package up my Short Odyssey. Now what I'm curious about is still only have those two as dealers. Interesting. I've got a lot here. Benji is over here in Westville, right? No, he's in Northbound. Yeah, he's in Northbound. So let's give him... Actually, I don't really care where he goes. Let me look at Molly. Oh, she's only got 8 too. Give her... I want to keep George. George is a moneymaker. Jerry's annoying. Let me give her Jerry as well. And then I'm going to give Benji. I want to keep Jesse and Geraldine. I'll give him Beth and then Dean. He's got a machete and a revolver and 29 wedding punch. And what does Molly have? Just 16 wedding punch. I'm not giving them very much on purpose because they keep getting jumped by benzos. Bozos. Let me see here. I need to do this right now. I can go out and start to sell it. And if I wanted to order something, where can it actually come? Okay, so I do just have these two. I have the bungalow and the sweatshop. Okay. I don't think I have any employees, do I? I thought I had one over there at the sweatshop. I'll check in the morning. I think that's where I might have an employee growing some of the bud. Okay. Let me actually... I've already got Horse and Peddler for 3. What about my Space Odyssey? Suggested 2. Space Odyssey is also suggested for 2, right? 206. I do this as... I don't want everyone calling me for Gorilla Balls. Okay, Gorilla Piss is not for sale. Neither is Wedding Punch by me. I want to get rid of that. I don't want to be selling that. And that's not for sale either, but this should be. There it is. So in the morning, I need to take with me 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 Gorilla Balls. Let me get that now. We need to run around, do all that. There's also is new storage too. What, dealers didn't earn anything? Why not? What were you guys doing all day? Oh, big sprinkler. I think that's for our fungus. Ooh, I can buy more. Ooh, I absolutely have to take my gun and my machete. I have no choice. If I get stopped by the benzos, I'm gonna be screwed. Okay, where do I need to go first? There's one over here, obviously. I always have the option to take off my hat and beat someone with it. I have that pan on my hat. Goodbye, officer. Okay. And where else? The rest are over here, right? Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Beth, you only want one? And then, oh, the basketball court. It means I can actually check on my employees too. What? What was that noise? Oh. What effects do these have? Oh, electrifying, nice. Basketball court is right over here. Good old Jesse! Let's check. I do have an employee here. Another Jesse. A guy. Oh, goodness gracious. What am I gonna do with you, Jesse? I don't really want you over here making all this stuff. You're out of money, too. While you're not doing anything. Maybe I will keep you around, and maybe we'll get into some shrooms from Fungal Phil. Do you have any messages from about Phil? Actually, let me check this, my journal. Nothing for now. That's fully there. These guys are fully there. Everyone is fully there. Okay, I gotta get rid of their influence. I gotta do that. Let me go over to the gas station and see if I can get any more spray paint. Oh, Chloe. You can purchase that. I need to do it in Westville. Let me make sure where that is. I think that's over here, right? I don't think this is the right area, actually. Or there's something along one of these walls I can paint. I think so. Over here? No. Aha. Bah. In the docks. Okay, I don't want their influence in the docks. I want it to go down. I believe it's over here. Did I really use up that whole thing? No wonder. Used to be able to, can I do this? Do I also have the post office, I wonder? We don't want the docks. We want the other area. I haven't bought that yet. Oh. How am I getting so much money over? Okay. So I actually need to do down here. And oh wait, I was gonna go to this gas station over here. Get some more spray paint. Whoa, madam. You're gonna make me go all the way back home, aren't you? I haven't received any calls on my Space Odyssey product. Oh, yeah, well, that's a bit of a problem. Oh, George! Ooh, he wants some of the Space Odyssey. George, where do you want to meet? 2 for $6.50. That's a good deal. Sure thing, George. Underneath the West Bridge. Really? Right here? Oh my goodness, this is gonna be fantastic. Come on, my man. There we go, George. I want to see you. I'm sorry, the laxative one is just, it's just funny. It's just funny. I don't care what anyone says. It's funny. Yep. Bodily function humor still makes me laugh to this day. Okay, where is my spray paint in this whole mess of a place? I know I've got some somewhere. At least I should. Thing in here. Or is it over at my other place? No, no. That's all weapons. I know I've stockpiled some spray paint. Geraldine! You want one? I would be happy to get you. Sure thing, let's do it right now. Thompson Construction, I gotta go back over there anyways. Let's get it for you. I'm waiting for those idiots to jump me. Here we go. I want to see you consume it right away. Hmm? Having a bit of a problem there, Geraldine? Woo! Oh! You are breakdancing. Okay. Let me check the sweatshop real quick. Just to see if my stuff is here somewhere. And I think it is. Somewhere. So I know I had way more spray cans than this. No, I need spray paint, damn it! I have nowhere else I would be keeping it. Ooh, did I get the locker? No, wait. Did I? Oh, feeling better. You want another one? You're running away from me. Did I get the stash and dash? No, I didn't get this one yet either. I really want to find some members of the Benzos and just deal with them. From what I remember, they actually walk around. They have those little fingerless gloves that they wear when they're the little henchmen or goons of the Benzos. Ooh. Who do I talk to about this again? I remember. I talked to guy that lives over here in the tent. Dang it. Over there. Nope, not him. He lives in this. He's not home. How much do my dealers have now? He's only got 1,100. Dude, Molly is Molly's almost out. I gotta go get Molly's stuff. Man. Oh, there he is. Oh. You're the one that has the key. Maybe Geraldine, excuse you. What are you doing all the way over here? I thought you lived on the other side of town. Interesting. Okay, let me get some more product. Or how much do I give her? I guess one stack. 20? She's almost out now. What kind of weapons does she have? Oh, she's out dealing. Well, then get home. I got your... Where are you? You're taking your sweet ass time getting home. Sounds like you're in there. Who's in there partying, man? Jesse, we need to cook. Come on. Where are you, girl? You should be coming down this road, right? Am I wrong? Yeah, she is. We're here on the bridge. You just passed the cop. Dude, he's over there farting up a storm. Oh. Still farting, my man. Hey, girl. Hey, what are you doing? You got a gun, okay? Use it. I still don't know. Walter White. What name her Walter White Paws. I still don't know if giving your dealers weapons makes any type of difference whatsoever. I felt like last time I played, they all had guns and yet they all still got totally jumped and worked over. And I think it should too. I just don't know if it does. Do I have any stuff in here? Oh, I'm out. Oh, no wonder. I need to order more stuff. Can I get that delivered? I don't even have the weed dude on auto delivery, which means I need to talk to Shirley. I have not unlocked high quality yet. Okay, but I've got 800 as my limit. I can do 8. Be ready in about 5 hours. Okay. Received 80 bucks. Like, look at that. Like, if I step out and as soon as that curfew's enacting, they're gonna spot me. Like outside my own house, right on my own property, I can get arrested. It's a gamble to like go out when they're still roaming, but after it hits that 4 a.m. time, you generally can go out and have it not be a big deal, because they don't roam around nearly as much. I'll leave 3 there. I'm gonna bring these down. You put that and that up there. I have a shelf, don't I? Another shelf? I do. I have a lot of shelves. Okay. We do that. Actually, no, can't do that yet. Benji. Rid of the stuff. I want my dealers to actually go through all of this stuff now. And I've got a bunch of crap over at the other place too. I think I need to make into wedding punch, or yeah, I don't have any purple haze growing anywhere, or granddaddy purple. I think it's all this stuff, so I have to make more wedding punch. Jesse! You know what, Jesse? 2 for 720. That girl, I'm telling you now, this girl like is incredible. Like, she is like, and her standards are so low for quality, but she always buys a crap ton. So this is what, 360. So if I did counter offer 3 or the 360 would be 1080. What if I did? Yeah, girl. That means I can go over and give Benji some stuff as soon as the cops stop roaming around everywhere. I may have to stop selling my Shart Odyssey here. I have to make some more. I gotta go get stuff to make it. I need the press too. If I can get the press and just give my dealers bricks, that'd be so much better. And I don't even have to buy bars. I can just press it into bricks of 20. I think it's 20 or 10. I think it's 20. Oops. Yeah, no, that's not good. There's another one in there. I got too excited there for a second talking about getting some bricks. Okay. Preparation for all this. Let's see if the curfew is actually up yet. Nope. Top patrols have not lightened up yet. Quite yet. All right, go make yourself some ramen. Okay, let's do that. I can put that up there. Clear on the other side of town. Girl. It's over on the docks. Man. That should be enough because each one does 5. Yeah, 5 times 4 is 20. Okay. How much more time do we have? Oh, I still got a little bit of time. Is there any more room there? 1. And then I need... Here we go. That will work for now. Okay. No! Wait, are you going somewhere? Giving into temptation. It is what it is. Whatever. No, it should be this. Yeah, I should have to do that. It ain't expiring. I can go see Jesse anytime I want. Because Jesse... Did I lose some... Did I lose some stuff here? Oops. think I might have. I think I might have lost some. I did. This should be 16 right now. No, wait. Yes, no. No, 4 would be 16. Yes. I do need one more of these. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with demand unless I get a bigger place and have a chemist start making my candy here. Manage the raw production of my candy. Because I thought I had a lot of this stuff, but really, like, it is, but it's not. I mean, this stuff is way slower to make than this stuff is. And I need to take... what do I need to take for him? Yeah, because Benji's out, right? Please don't find me, officer. Give me that cold hard cash, Benji boy. There's a little bit more for you. And then I need to go see Jesse at... over here. Oh my gosh, I thought that was a flashlight of a cop. She made me slightly nervous because I think there's some right over there. So let me sneak over this way. It'll be right here around the corner. Jesse! Bro, I gotta see you. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. I almost feel bad about doing this to Jesse. Almost. Oh! Earl, what did you eat? Okay. Oh. Should I go all the way over there and collect that now? It's gonna be a bit precarious, but why not? Let's go on a little venture. Although I do have my entire haul of 2001 Space Odyssey on me. I get... maybe I should bring... I'm gonna bring a little... I think I'm gonna bring all my hardware. I'm gonna bring that, this, and reload just in case. I don't know what, I actually don't know what the cop controls are like over there. I know you can get seen. Oh my gosh, of course. Right here by a cop who's right up there. He's not there. Good. I can run through this place. Come out over there. When can I buy the better gun? Enforcer 1. Look at that. I want that pump shotgun so bad. Okay, over this way. Because my stuff is right there behind that very end shop, right on the very end, the tackle and bait shop. Looks like there isn't a patrol right here. I don't see any of the little question marks going up. This place is 50K. I think the barn is 30. It would take every single penny I've got. And I don't even have the post office yet. But man, actually on my way back, I think I'm going to buy... got 40K on me. Ironically, I think someone can see me when I run this way, but not when I'm running away. See? I'm surprised, actually, he didn't actually flag on me. Okay. Nope, not you. Come here to this fine gentleman. Cash only. I love cash. Wait. You know where I can get the sewer key? Oscar seen one lying around somewhere. Oh, I remember hearing the guy with the big eyebrows and the teardrop tattoo. Yeah, I know who that is. Thank you. Okay. I think, see, I can't get that yet. That's Bagman 5. That's actually only one rank away. I need technically 4 more of these. I wonder if I can fit them all properly in that room. Oh, we're gonna find out, aren't we? I've not been jumped. I don't know if I can actually get jumped at this time of night. Ironically. This guy here is the one that, Joyce, wait, no. Isn't he the one with the teardrop tattoo? I guess he's not. Okay. Oh, there's another dude that hangs out here. That doesn't wear a shirt. Jerry. He is the one, right? No. Who the hell? I thought maybe it was Jerry. Maybe not. Let's see what we can actually get going in here. See how we can actually... Oh yes, contains items. Okay. Let me put my extra ammo and my going out the door kit up right there. Granddaddy purple. Huh? Couldn't that go over here? Okay. These. Actually, I do know one other thing, that there's something way bigger that we can put stuff on now, that is available for us to buy. I think I'm going to want to do that. Let me put all this crap on here. And get all this off. Yeah, all this is, I can actually make all of this fantastic into 2001: A Space Odyssey. This is just so cramped in here now. I need to get rid of, like, what am I doing with all this stuff? I don't have room. Ooh, I think I know what to do. And where else did I have this crap? Right here. Okay. What I could do is get rid of all this. And not having that crosshair is kind of a detriment. Okay. All this in here. Get rid of these two. What I could do is actually get bigger ones of this to hold this stuff. But I think this is the stuff I need to make gorilla balls. Either Gorilla Balls or Wedding Punch. Honestly, I don't even remember. I'd have to look it up. Actually, I think I have it on a notepad. I'd have to look. Granddaddy Purple. Fat Shark. Yep, it's not there. Oh well. That's okay. Let me see here for a second. Maybe that there. Rid of that. This can be more ingredient. Yes, yes, yes. I can rearrange this whole area in here too. I got those. Oh, that. But these can go in there. One in there. One in here. Okay. So how, if I wanted to get, let's say 4 more of these. If I wanted one workstation to be one thing, where could I put those? How could I make that work? Or at least one more to make it 3. Be the best arrangement in here, because that can go 2. And I could put that there. Cover up my window, I don't really care about that one. Okay. If I did... What would be ideal? Like something like... I can fit here, do each one of those. Yeah, but then what am I going to do over here? Isn't a very good spot, honestly, but it doesn't have to be perfect. We do a 3rd one right there. I need my... Where's my thing for... There it is. Pick up garbage. Need to clean this crap up. Okay. Go dump. Now, I need to get a better way to get cash onto my card. Which means I really should spend some of this money I have on my card to go and get the post office. Really need to get that going. Otherwise, it's going to take an eternity just to save up enough to get, like, the barn. Which will massively suck, because that's the place to really start ramping up production of anything you want to end up making. So... I don't mind either, but when I'm trying to, like, the only time it matters to me is, like, when I'm doing those little stand things, the little stands for these right here. It's hard to, because you have to hit it right on the leg, and sometimes it feels a bit off center, honestly. It feels a bit off when you're trying to do it without the little dot in the middle. Otherwise, yeah, I don't care normally either. I only care when I was trying to take stuff down. I did that, then another one there, and it would kind of, I wonder if it would actually put me into the wall here. Yes. I'm gonna put this here, then put all these on there, and then all these. I think I want to go on another trip. I want to get another mixing machine. And actually get enough stuff here to make something too, but let's get over to the mixing machine first. See if this is going to be when they see me. No, still not. I do. One interesting thing is that I noticed is that when you're at this time where it's 4 a.m. and like nothing is progressing until you sleep, if you're growing bud, time stops on your growing, right? It won't grow anymore. But if you have pseudo, you can cook for as long as you want and make as much if you have the supplies on you. Time doesn't stop when you put it on the table to cook it, or to mix it, and then it doesn't stop when you put it in the oven to bake it either. So yeah, it's interesting because when you're doing bud, you have to almost hope that you can harvest some early enough in the day that when if you replant, it will end up getting all the way to being harvestable again before this time. So I've had it be stuck at like 98% and I can't do anything with it until I sleep. But with pseudo, you can do whatever you want. Okay, I would like to purchase one more of these. And honestly, you don't have any of the other stuff I'm looking for. You don't have any of the other storage. We'll need a lot more of these, but that should be okay. What else was I gonna buy? I was gonna buy some supplies on the way home. I need at least another round. How many should I do? Let's do another. Three. That'd be 120 of those. And then that would be 60 of these. 60 beans. Can I fit 60 iodine on there too? Probably won't get the motor oil, will I? No. Okay. I can just designate each one of the 3 stations to do 2 steps. Or have each one. Aha, I can stand at it. Nice. Okay. It looks terrible, but this is good for temporary. I can do all 3 of these on the very first step, first and foremost. So people will actually let me do this now. Do that, and then the mega will go on there. Oh, I do need another thing. Let me put it here. Okay. I didn't get the motor oil. That's the last one I need to get. 60 of those. I actually want to pick up this stuff first so I don't get mixed up on the order. And then it is the mega bean, and then it's going to be then the oil, which will sit on the pallet out there. Okay, come back and grab that. So yeah, with 3 of those, if I do these in batches of 3 like I am with this, then I don't need to actually. I can do each one, each step at the exact same time. The mega beans will go here. then iodine, and then the motor oil. Then I can sleep, and we'll go by the post office in the morning. First thing in the morning. Maybe we'll get jumped finally again. I really need more of this. I really honestly thought I had more of this. I don't. I don't need to buy anything. It's already out here. I can't get down the rep over there until I have access to more of the spray paint. So I can take more customers from downtown and make the benzos even more mad. So they can come and fight me. That's what we want. We can actually progress that far enough to where... Let me leave that there so that we can actually progress the story. Yeah, I've got 3. Okay, good. Okay, this. And this will be the next one. That will be the next one. Next one. Yeah, make sure I don't put that in first. There we go. And the one after that is going to be this again. I just have to wait for that at this point. Actually, I could do these beans in here too. Yeah, they have new lockers now too. They're huge. Like one of them, it's kind of like this size except double wide, but it has 20 slots, which is 4 more than 2 of these combined. And it, you know, you can get to it from both sides, so you can actually make a whole setup around having it in the middle. And the good thing about that is that now you can stock so much more in one storage for your employees. You can build that up even more for them. Okay, that, there, and this. So it's kind of crazy if you think about it. You can have like tons of this stuff in one locker, or even one locker for each of your chemists, because I think they can do 4 of these stations, so like 2 and 2, or you can have them all on one, like this one, and then you don't have to really supply anything for the oven. They just, you can have them move this when it's done over into here, and then a whole nother chemist can come and just bake it and then put it on a shelf where another employee can then take it and put it into the press to make bricks out of it. Afro Gorilla Cheese It. And we can get the iodine and this next. So in here, oh yeah, I want to get rid of these. Let me put these over here. Right? Put those in there. And this can come over here too. Oh, whoops, yeah, got too much of that. Let me put, no, that's gonna have to go here as well. I'm gonna get one, if I'm gonna get an employee and pay them, I would like to basically pack that room as much as I can. So that we can make as much product in this small space. If we do that, what kind of layout can we do? Let me put this thing out there. We can do... I don't know about this. What about something like this? Hate that. That is so ugly. Or this one could be right here as well. And then we could have storage, the big huge storage thing right there. Okay, that there, Nightmare Shards, and then this is going to be our Space Odyssey. Actually, go over here. I need an easy way to make this. But if I'm just mass producing 2001 Shard Odyssey. Okay, let's do this. 40, 20, Mega Bean, Iodine, Motor Oil. I can do one more load of this, and then we actually should be good. And everything I have that's raw goods will be converted into something that is sellable, which is a bonus. I think that this is kind of growing on me, this layout here. Then we can put, like I said, a big double locker here. Then even maybe replace this with something, or this with a double locker. Then to actually come and put the finished product on. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Do that, and then that. We go get the other stuff again, and then we should be good. I'm gonna have to go to that hardware store clear over there. I can't believe there's no freaking hardware store over here anywhere. Like, the only one is way over there by the sweatshop. Or clear over there by the barn. There's no... I guess if I think about it, there's a hardware store right next to the sweatshop, but there is no gas station. This is the closest gas station. So the compromise with this location is, if you need to go to the hardware store, you have to go over there by sweatshop, and at the sweatshop, come over here to get any type of ingredients. So, because yeah, it's literally like the same distance from Bungalow over here as it is to the hardware store, although you can't come to the hardware store in the middle of the night. Let's do 40, 20. 20. Things from my wife didn't actually text me. And motor oil. Right? Yeah. Absolutely he does. I mean, look at what I come in and buy. Like, well, they sell some pretty wild shit too. Like, what gas station sells ethically sourced horse semen? Like, what? And who sells like the Jack and the Beanstalk Mega Bean? That's crazy. Craziness. Do that. Rid of that. And then rid of this. Now these can go in here. me, but now we need this for both. And then Coke again. We do that. There we go. This one should actually come out first, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's 3, 4. I do not have nearly enough of this either. Because these only stack in 10s. They do not stack in 20s. And I need to go pay Shirley and get a whole nother stack of this as well. Okay, this. And we do that. Alright, and we need the beans from both. That will almost be done. Let's go ahead and start this. I want to make sure I have enough Space Odyssey to sell, you know, for myself to sell and have fun with. That's the goal right now. I'm already racking in plenty of cash. That and getting rid of the benzos. This one will be first. Exactly. I'm here for my 60 gallons of ethically sourced horse semen, please. Just ship that over to my bungalow on the west side. It might sound a little more normal saying ship that over to my barn, honestly, but it's not really what we say. Give me that Viagra and the cold medicine as well. Whole bunch of energy drinks as well, along with some motor oil. You know, because that goes with everything. Exactly, your magical beans. Your magical mega beans, like Jack and the Beanstalk beans. I wonder at what point they're going to introduce me to Fungal Phil, who is the shroom guy. That's the new in-between step between my candy and the snow. It's Fungal Phil. And you, it's actually kind of a nice step because you actually reuse these pots, right? And you have that, you know, that little sprinkler that got unlocked for me. It actually, that's what does it. And there's also like a humidifier too that you can use. So basically you can reuse your lights and your pots, and you put them in a circle around one thing in the center. So you need a little bit of space to do it, but that's how you grow your stuff. Do do do. It's so good. The song, the beats in this game are so good. There we go. More of my Space Odyssey is now done. All that I have is right up here, isn't it? No, that's my Gorilla Balls. Put that over here. Get the Gorilla Balls. Nope, wrong one. Where did I put my other stuff? Oh, right here. Okay, good. I'm like, wait a minute. I know I'm not completely out. There'll be 3 more there. Let me use this for that. Now, here's my ethically sourced horse semen. Jug of ethically sourced horse semen, exactly. An elongated, phallic-like yellow fruit, rich in potassium. Unusually large bean of mysterious origin, exactly like Jack and the Beanstalk. That's what it is. Well, that's done. Chart Odyssey, baby. Okay. I was going to go. Actually, what do my dealers look like? She still has 19. She only sold one, but I gave it to her right at the end of the day. He still has 25 gorilla balls. She still has 19. She's got 2 grand. He's got none. Benji, I gave you your shit yesterday morning, dude. You are like... kind of bumming me out here, man. Exactly. The entire stock of energy drinks. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Shove it in my long storage pouch. My ass. Ooh. Am I gonna make it? Man, getting kind of rough. Ooh, money. Those bitches! Oh, Molly, you hoe. I'm gonna go find them, and I'm going to go deal with them right now. What are the cops doing? Absolutely nothing. We're on the Benzo's payroll, that's what. Where are these guys? No, that's not one of them. Where's that? I wonder if I go up there, if I can find them on the street. First, we buy the... Okay, thank you. First, we buy... I want to purchase a business. Post office. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Now let me go and start getting some money going in here. This is 4 grand, right? Yep. Okay. Time for me to go through the wilderness. Remind myself of where I came from, right over here. What those sons of bitches did. Let's go find them. What? What is that? What does that say? Oh, police area. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I really need to find these a-holes. You're not one of them. You know where their property is? It's up here at the end of the street. This is kind of bullshit. I can't find them and I just have to wait. Private property. I'll give you private property. Where are you, benzos? I got nothing else going on but tracking you guys down. You look suspicious, but you don't have the finger gloves. Otherwise, you might have to get I have to be taught a lesson there. You get around these jokers, which is really quite easy. I should do this. Let's see if there's any of them walking around down here. See, with the new stuff, like if they see you running around with a gun, they'll like try to apprehend you. which isn't in the game yet. I know. My RV is gone. Oh. Oh, nice. Oh, this is still going for what? Another 19 minutes? Okay. Leave these idiots around here. What blows my mind is that they're nowhere near. Greg. They're nowhere near their territory yet. Like we aren't. And my dealers don't go anywhere near their territory. So they come over here on purpose. Which pisses me off that I can't find them and shoot them. I know it's possible, but it's super annoying. I lost a decent amount of product. What, like 1,000? Yeah, because they stole Gorilla Balls. Is it Gorilla Balls? Maybe it's not so bad then. Benzo suck. I did that. They do suck. They suck balls. No. Holy sh... Meg! No! Meg! No, no, no! I'm gonna go call the cops and I'm toast. I just want to look closer at your face, Meg. Oh shit. Oh, I didn't make it. Any more of these idiots running around here I can get to? Okay, Meg, who wants what? George, you want one of two? Oh, sure. West Wharf. Oh, that's clear over there, isn't it? You gonna turn in front of me? Nope. That's those assholes. I don't know why I can't shoot them. They tend to want to jump us over here too. I've been jumped over here like 3 times. Girl, where are you going? Molly. How much stuff do you actually have? You got 10. Oh, wait. Oh, no, 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 no. What? Geraldine Poon, calm down. Calm the F down. Geraldine, what do you need? 2, you'll pay 700. Yeah, you're a good customer. That's why I kept you. Sauerkraut. Good on you, buddy. All right, let's go over here to the Sauerkraut Supreme. It is good handwriting. Okay, I desperately need some spray paint. I've got to pull these guys out because you're not the idiot I want to talk to. I wonder if they act the same way with my machete as they do with wait, is it right here? Ah, they are, Geraldine. You paid very well. Very, very well. I even get a rainy bonus. Wait for you to shart your pants, Geraldine. Then I'll be on my way. There we go. Really need to find these idiots. Oh yeah, I gotta go over to the other place at night. I can actually hire a chemist. Oh, and I want to actually... I gotta go pay off Shirley so I can order some more. I think if I ran up to a cop with this in my hand, they'd be kind of upset. Just throwing that out there. Yes, Shirley. And how about you let me get... Oh, we need to meet up. That's what I was waiting for. Where? Meeting. Oh. Okay. Let's giddy up. Giddy up, giddy up. I can only buy 30, which I'm kind of upset about. Actually, hold on. Let me drop off. I better have a shelf in here. I'm going to be mad at myself. I'm mad at myself. Really? Yeah. What are you guys doing? Okay, Mr. Police Officer. Like, what is this? They just like walk right by her. Yes, I want 30. No. I know it won't all fit there, but it will fit there. So I'm gonna go over here. That is Benji's twin brother right there on the police force. Twin. Sorry, Jesse. Jesse number 2. Let me put those there and that there because I need to go pick this up now before she disappears. I wonder if she disappears with my money. And what is this? Oh, sewer key. I have not played around in the sewer nearly enough to understand the ramifications of, or just understand the layout, period. Okay, so here's the good stuff right here. These huge lockers, right? 20 slaughters. I'm gonna get 4 of those. A lot of cash, but now I can go over here, dump off my stuff in the new gigantic locker. Like, look at that thing. It's double, but it holds more than double the space, which is what is super cool about it. Let's actually put some of them right there, and then put this one right there. And that's what it looks like. It looks incredibly cool. Look at all that space. I'm not even, like, it's insane. Crazy. Okay, let's go back up to our hotel room and get the other stuff we left behind. The skateboard, my extra ammo, my machete, and the other 3 pseudo. My $5 grand worth of pseudo. Okay, Benji, do you have any cash for me? A little bit. Okay, thank you. Oh no, it's not here. Damn it, it's in the sweatshop. Ooh, I heard a shot over there. Honestly, I just need storage over at the hotel room. If I just need quick storage, because this place is a pain in the ass to get to. And my machete, and then this. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Don't even have the alarm yet, or the notification. One thing I do want to do is go check the... need to go check the gas station. See if I can buy any more frickin' okay, you just did it, so I should be fine. I know I can't buy a lot of stuff, but I should be able to buy something if I need to. Still sold out. I think I have to actually rank up to do it. Maybe I'll be able to rank up soon. Oh, police officer. Nope. Sorry. Sorry. Nope. You can go away. I was like, dude, what? Oh, there we go, officer. See, look. Ooh, do you see me? Ooh, they didn't. If they turn around, they'll see me. This stuff can also go in there, and these only go into 10 as well. So let's do... 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll be one short. I need 5 more of each of these. I need to go hire someone too. Okay. Rid of that and that. Oh, whoops. I do have a little bit of that right there. More shelves. That up there. Where else do I want the big ones at? They are way more expensive. Just hold so much. They also don't fit in that little nice little one nook right there either. Well, that gives us a whole lot more storage than what I could get in here otherwise. Also makes this a lot more cluttered in here. But we could storage max with that. It's not too bad. Did I already get that one? Nope, I didn't. Where's the other two? Jesse, my girl. 2 for 720, huh? I'll come see you as soon as the cops go night-night. Put those right there. Is that all I got? Is 2 more? No. I did 3. 4, 5, 6. Wait. There's 1. Wait a minute. There has to be another one somewhere. There's not. I was leaving that up there on purpose. Okay. This will be hard with these. I actually think you can do it. I think you can actually try to target in between, but it would be hard to stack up storage like this. Like going across with these big lockers. They do hold what? It's 8. They do hold 4 more slots total than what 2 of those do. And like I said, this is so good for employees. That's like one of the best things about it is employees. Because you just give them so much more stuff in their period. No, let's put that. Put that there. I shouldn't need this in the middle of the night. Shouldn't. Actually, I shouldn't take any of this with me. Because I need 5 of each, and I don't have 10 slots. On me. I have 8. And I can go deliver Jesse's on the way. He wants to. These the cops are ready. Okay, seriously, girl? I was about ready to come over there and like beat your ass. You said you got jumped again and didn't do anything about it. Actually, let me go this way. Hey, where are... Okay, your ass is on the way home. Okay. I will wait for you to get home, Jesse. Let you give me whatever money you've got left and give you 5 more product, which is 20. Can't afford to give you too many. What are you doing? 2:30. Little thing stops at 4 a.m. Okay. No. Okay, there we go. Good. Now, let me give you some more stuff. There you go. You've actually got a gun. Dude, what's up, man? Get out of here. Oh, shit. I need to go get my gun. Oh, wait. Nice. Not dead, right? In my body disposal spot. Excellent. And I need to actually energize. I don't need that. It's gonna let me eat this. Won't. How do I regain health? I'm not gonna drink a bunch of horse semen. Actually, I think woo-wee! Wow. Okay. Dude, this is good stuff. I need to buy this just to get around quicker. Holy shit. Where are you, girl? Okay. Wow. I need to go. Oh, now I know where I need to go to the warehouse. Lasts for a long time. Holy crap. It's just one energy drink. Okay, I need 50 of this. 10 of that. Then I can come up here, look at getting a chemist.
Huh.
How much is a chemist? How much can they do? I can make that off selling one thing a day. Deal. Okay, I need to go actually get a locker. Well. And I need to... No, I don't have to provide them a bed. I just have to provide them a locker. But I am booking it so fast. This is insane. The cop didn't stand a chance to even, like, register where I'm going. Dude. Well, there we go. A locker is a substitute for their bed, I think. Yeah, if I remember right. Okay. Now we need to do this. Here we go. Actually. Three, 4, 5, 6. these two right here. Here is, I'll put the overflow right here. Oh, what the hell was that? Let's assign you and we'll assign you this oven and that oven. And we will have these two we will manage and go. Wait a minute. Recipe this. Wait a minute. This is just a destination. Okay. This one is going to go to here. And then this one, nope. This one is going to go to right there. But these don't have any place to get stuff. And she doesn't either. She just has a locker. I need to have another chump. Oh, this is annoying. Okay. I need that, that, and that. I need to put here and then in there. These two, right? This one and this one. Destination will be right there. Okay. I need to get him a locker. I've already, I don't have a locker, so I'm going to sleep. I believe the lockers are sold by the dude at the stores, the hardware stores. Yeah, I want my gun. Benzos are out. I want my gun. I know, it's terrible at the end. I know. It is truly horrible at the end. I have no request for my Space Odyssey. I just don't like it. I need to make sure I don't flash the gun in front of anyone's face. They actually get kind of upset, apparently. Locker. Where's locker? Right here. I'm gonna get two. But one in case I want to get a stooge in there to do something else. It is. It is. And oh man. It requires so much infrastructure. It's kind of crazy. Okay, now let's actually let me do manage you and go locker. There we go. Now get your ass in there. Start cooking, baby. Start cooking. Yeah, boy. All right. I don't have anything from there. I do have to go launder some more money. I'm gonna do that. And help the The benzos attempt to help me. Those are just cops. Look at that. That's crazy. There's like 2 sets of cops walking across the street from each other in the same direction. Now, my tax dollars are going to all the wrong places with that many cops in this small of a town with this little amount of people. Dude, 3 hours. Oh, of course, I have to run right into that. They are. If they eat 2 of them in a row with any of my product, they'll explode. Oh, can I get any more? I swear on my other playthrough, this person is never here. Ever. During the day. It is so annoying. They're constantly out buying product from somebody in my offline playthrough. It's horrible. Like, I think I actually sat here once for an entire day and no one came back. Nobody came back. She's still scared of me. She's the one that went running away when I shoved my gun in her face. Yes, it's a gun. It's not something else. I didn't shove anything else in her face. You're not the one to talk to. Benzos, bozos. Yeah, baby, that's me too. How much is their influence here? We just need a little bit more. A little bit more. I just need some freaking spray paint, man. You look like you could be one of them. I want to know where the hell they all are. Because all of a sudden they mysteriously pop out of nowhere. Benzos funded by Bezos. Oh, ooh. Bezos, Benzos. Benzos by Bezos. A double B. B squared. Father. Interesting. Oh yeah, you work with the mobsters, don't you? Remember that now. Are you drinking there, Father? Oh, come on. Hello, Harold. I need... Ooh, who are they? Are those cops? Unfortunate. Yourself. Profiling. Racism. Because I look like poor white trash and I deal with drugs doesn't mean you can just do that to me. Hey girl, you want... I guess not. Ooh, wait. Ooh, Georgie. Is this ready now? Yes, it is. Okay, Georgie, I got to sell today too, so... Let's do a counter offer. Let's do... Dude, you better get out of my face. Away with you. Quit hanging out in my business. This is my business. I own the laundromat. You're not welcome. Where am I going? Oh. Gotta go clear over here. Good pain in the ass. Outside apartment. Okay, yeah. I know exactly where that is. That's where our girl lives. The dealer girl. He wants to stare at washing machines. That's the excitement of his life. Holy shit. Come on, dude. you with it. I want 2. There you go, buddy. Good, I made enough to pay the help for a whole nother day. Speaking of help, Kathleen, don't be slacking off. Looking good. You don't have anything in the ovens yet. Don't be slacking. You get a swift punch. Ooh, Geraldine. How much do you want? 2 for $7.15. Okay. Let's do it now. Skate park. Sure thing. Let's go. Why the hell am I carrying this thing around? I'm gonna put it there. Okay, yep, it's faster to run. This rough road. Hey, you're not the guy I want. I gotta find the guy with the teardrop. No, Ludwig, no. That's my boy. There you go, my man. Let me see. I really want some Bezos, some Benzo Bezos to show up. Karen, you're looking kind of sus up here. Just kind of are you just like facing the joint or what? Like, look at you. What are you doing? Don't give me that indifferent look. Balls. I think that was me too. I want to unlock you. Well, Brad. I need to unlock your connections. You're my next dealer. My next best friend. How much do my dealers have now? Another 3K. You're failing me, Molly. Failing me. I think I need to go put them in their place. Come on, guys. This is like the best one ever. The creator put this in for Queso and Jesse. They made this impossible to get out of. You used to be able to run out of these. Yeah, I did that one too. Benzo's son. Let's go see if this idiot is actually at their station. I did that one too. Venus. I'll go back to it as I see if this idiot's in. Oh, you're in. Thanks for coming to work, Meg. Ooh. Yes. Okay. I need to do what? Oh, I didn't buy it. It was only $10 damn. Okay. And I need to make sure it's in the correct part of town, which is over here. There's another one of my penis shots there. Where else can I do it? Need to be in this side of town. Another penis shot. I think this is uptown, actually. Is there any place to do it in here? Here anywhere? Can I spray paint Karen? No. It doesn't say exactly where the maps end, where the sections end. I think where I need to do it is anywhere over here. Which means maybe I just need to go down this way farther. I think. What about... Okay, you're out of product. If you got jumped again, yet again. Okay, if this is not where I need it to be. 'Cause this doesn't say where. Yeah. But where is Westville? This is not downtown, right? Maybe it is. Oh, wait, no, Westville. I've already got stuff in downtown now. Westville is over here. Right? Because Westville's over this way. Okay. All right. Now I remember. Oh, I know what's up with you, Geraldine. A little bit too much of my product. Can I paint any of these people's houses? Oh. Wait, tunes. Okay, so where exactly can I do it over here then? I don't see the little queue for anywhere to do it. Do it back over here anywhere? No. Don't see it there either. Wait, can I do it on their garage door? I could do that in one of the other places. We don't have a garage. Come on, where am I supposed to do it over here? Oh, wait, there is a garage down this way. I gotta go get Benji some product. This is a carport. Shit. Aha. We're gonna do red. No, green. Son of a bitch. You cocksuckers, really? If they come up on me now, I'm gonna shoot them. No! How did you Damn it! Dude, this revolver is such shit. Look what they stole. They stole 300 bucks and they stole my frickin' space shark drugs. They didn't even take my gun. Oh, I need that revolver so bad. I need the handgun. I can't. This revolver is such shit. Like, look, it's like. I was shooting that guy right in the face. Come on. Oh, is this guy nervous? Sorry. Seriously? You can take that. Jesse. No, I don't. I gotta get some more from here. And Jesse, every single night, girl. I don't know where you get the $1,000 a day, but I'm grateful for it. Deal. Oops, damn it, I didn't want to do it in the morning. I want to do it in the night. Benji, I already know. I'll bring you stuff in the morning. Bring you more of this. I cannot believe that happened. Okay, so that is cooking again. We've already got stuff in there. Fantastic. I don't quite know if you've actually earned your keep yet, but you're getting there. You're getting there. Sucks. I need that next rank so bad. I think Enforcer. So I have to get the Bagman 5, and then I think Enforcer's the next one. So that's when I can actually get a new gun. Because this gun is shite. It's shiza. I'm gonna go give this to Benji too. He was giving me jukes. Like seriously, I was like this, like what? Dude, the other guy went down like a bag of potatoes. Benji, I need the cash. Whatever you got, big guy. There you go. Now Jesse is gonna be right around here. I should go back and get more of this. Okay. What do I need to do? I need to go see if that officer is still dead. Maybe I can pickpocket his body and get his gun. Be nice. Hope he's there. I don't think he will be though. I think I have to pickpocket him right away. When I offed. No, he's gone. Son of a bitch. I was too slow. Too slow. Too slow. Throw this ship into the bay. Man. Terrible. Any more here? No! The pace of the spray paint is a bit annoying. I'll do any day now to get a message from one of my 2 dealers that they've been jumped again and I've lost even more money. You have anything yet? You do. You actually have your first load there. Fantastic. And you still got stuff there. Right. There you are. Kathleen White. Kathleen White. Walter's wife. Okay. I'm going to call it there for tonight. Yeah. Got work in the morning, and so let's call it there for the night. Yeah. I know. She's come around. She has come around. She's come around. So it's good stuff. But yeah, thanks everyone who came by. I'll be posting those videos, those reacts I did, probably, hopefully by Thursday and Friday I'll post them. So look for them there if you weren't here for them. And yeah, thanks everyone who stopped by. Have a good night. Good rest to you too. And it depends on the video and how much editing it takes. You know, it can depend. Depends on how long it is and how distracted I allow myself to get to. If I'm actually listening to something else and trying to listen to the video, I get distracted and sometimes listen to what I'm listening to instead of focusing on editing, so it can take longer. I actually hunkered down, it probably wouldn't take that long. Oh, it's fine. It's no problem. So yeah, everyone, thank you again for coming by. I hope you have a good one until we talk again. Be safe, and I'll see you then.